the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Hey, check out my new tag team, baby, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, Jimmy, don't forget to tell them about Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
Well, you know what, I would, but you already did it.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and Pharaoh, bro.
Monty and the Pharaoh. The Monty and the Pharaoh.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff and we gonna rock it.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
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 And Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, is it Monty and the Pharaoh?
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, cut music. When you want the best in professional wrestling, Long Island, there's only one place you're going to get it, right here.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best. That, my friends, is just incredible.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Duh.
I'm having one fun with Monty and the Pharaoh, and I'm gonna put him in a crossface chicken, and he's gonna go down right now. Yeah.
Hey! Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare! And you're watching the #1 show on Long Island with Monty and the Pharaoh.
I'll try it.
Oh, God, no.
You ready?
Drum roll.
John Dan Marotti's Big Fat Pig. 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 Dan Marotti's Big Fat Pig.
Ooh, I'm telling!
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Only seen here out of Indie Music TV, out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. And at the board is the now famous Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, pal?
What up, what up?
How was your trip to Boston, anyway?
What?
It was good. Well, I went to on the South Shore of Massachusetts, and it was I'm blanking out in the town name right now, but it was on the beaches. I was on a beach house.
So you were on the beach?
Yeah.
Did you happen to see any whales, like, wearing flip-flops or anything like
With
that?
goatees?
With goatees and
Yeah.
flip-flops?
Yeah.
We were
Whales,
luckily
like-
enough to be on a private beach, so no whales.
Interesting.
Really?
It was blubber-free beach.
Blubber-free.
Very, very...
Rest in peace to rapper Biz Markie, known for his song Just a Friend, dies at age 57.
Had a top 10 hit back in 1989, which went platinum with Just a Friend, as you mentioned. It's hard to believe. It's
Baby, you.
Don't.
You got what I need.
The first time I heard that,
She says she's just a friend.
I thought that my cat had been hit by a car.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like my singing?
But what that? Well, that wasn't too bad.
It wasn't bad, right?
Actually, wasn't too bad. No, I mean, I remember the
Did you ever
first
have
time.
sex that song?
No, that's you did the wild thing to that.
Absolutely. You could rock it with that song.
You didn't sing it while you were doing it, did you?
absolutely.
And she stayed in the room.
And she said,
She didn't leave you immediately.
and I'm just a friend.
She didn't call Kings Park Psych Center to have you taken away. That's very...
She might have.
Biz Monty performs...
Biz Monty.
You're just your friend. That's great, Mike. That's great.
Coming from New York, a hero NYPD cop describes how he saved stabbed victim's life with potato chip bag.
With what?
Quote, I just needed something squared off at the edges.
Wait a minute. Is this did the officer actually say this? Because this is funny.
Yes, he did.
Squared off at the edges. So was it, what brand was it?
I think it was,
Squared
it could have
off
been
at
Lay's.
Lay's?
But the important part,
What?
that's my nephew.
Get out of here.
The hero
Wait a
cop
second. This
is my nephew.
Wait a second. This was on the cover of a major New York newspaper.
A couple of them, right?
This
Absolutely.
This is your nephew.
We're very proud of him and the family.
How did he do it, though?
Ronald Kennedy Jr., my man.
I'm
proud to be your uncle, brother.
Absolutely, I would be too. How did he do it, though? I mean, how did he do it?
He had EMT training. This young man was stabbed on the streets.
Go on.
Sexy Granny, thank you. Best show on YouTube. I appreciate those comments.
Sexy Granny.
Sexy
Awesome.
Granny. Nothing better than a sexy granny.
Like I'm going to argue with facts. Sexy Granny.
Might need a potato chip bag for sexy granny. Anyway,
Utz or Lays?
so he put the potato chip bag in. He got some. What is wrong with you?
A lot. Do we have an hour?
So he
we
covered
do.
the wound and
Yeah.
he saved this young man's life. So
That is-
kudos
oh
to the
my
man in
Lord.
blue.
Wow.
We got what we wanted.
Yeah.
Money in the bank. The return of John Cena
Oh yeah. How great. How absolute. John Cena Jr.
Jr.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, could you imagine John Cena Sr. coming out?
No. No. Because then all of a sudden I'm canceling my membership to Peacock. And I no longer watch wrestling. I basically just watch those Godzilla movies you make fun of me for.
We'll get to John Cena Sr. in a minute, but anyway.
Wow, you almost said his name right.
Almost.
Well, almost don't count.
By the way, everybody out there, let's do a little personal test at home, and we're going to test our producer a little bit. If you can say John Cena Sr. 5 times fast without tripping over, you win.
Also, for you creative folks at home, because I know the audience is right there with me on this one, I would like you to try the typing test. How many times and how fast can you go, John Cena Sr., John Cena Sr.? I can't even call myself a fan of John Cena, but I know what he means, and I'm always interested when he comes on my television set, or nowadays my phone.
So explain to me this, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know John Cena Sr. Due to recent activity in
he's
the
a
last
Cena
couple
citizen,
of weeks,
by the way.
I've seen John Cena Sr.
Yeah.
on Big Fat Whale's show, okay? And this guy is the most uninteresting man in the world.
I already fell asleep. What else you got
So
for me?
but I ask you this question. As much as I love John Sr. Jr., how could he even be related to that slug John Sr.? Cena Sr.
Well,
Please explain to me, Farrell. Drop some wisdom on me.
I don't know if I can. Apparently, he swam the fastest, and there he was.
Babe Ruth says John Cena Toupee Senior. That is the worst rat rug I've ever seen. Your son makes millions and millions and millions of dollars. Could he at least buy you a decent rug?
It's rough.
Could you?
It's rough.
Like, just go,
It's
look,
rough.
Junior, can you just get me a rug? Can you buy me something from Men's Hair Now? Something that looks real?
And that Mr. Rogers sweater has to go. It's got to go.
Wait, so back to the
I
question.
mean, he comes in and he takes his shoes off. Would you be mine? Could you? What's going on here? I'm not interested in this. And by the way, this is really, this is what's really messed up. I wanted to know more about John Cena Sr. Hey, I said it once really slow.
Henry 407 says, Big Fat Whale Show, LOL. I'm sorry, that's kind of mean.
Wait a second. First of all, I want to let you know that I went
Big
to the
Fat Whale with slippers.
Hold on. I went to the Carvel website, and finally, Fudgy the Whale is going to have a brother, Pudgy the Whale. And he's got a goatee, and he can almost smell the body odor coming off of a cake. How original is that? I mean, scratch and sniff. This is more like scratch and die. I mean, who the hell would want Pudgy the Whale? Oi.
So
and
wait
the
a minute.
worst part is, when you're reading the box, it's just like an intro. You get so confused, you don't even know if it's a cake. It's like, what am I looking at? And then on the back, back is a photo of John Cena Sr.
Wait a minute, on the cake it says, keep the pro wrestlers working, donate to my channel.
Right. This cake is brought to you by your money coming to me.
That's right.
That's what it's brought to you by. And next week...
And maybe I'll slip up some drugs so the cake stumbles over their words.
well,
instead of Senior sitting in his chair boring everybody, why does he just put his wig in the chair and Pudgy the Whale interviews the wig?
Wait.
Can you say it 5 times fast? Let's hear it.
No.
Try it.
Oh, God. I'm going to take the challenge first.
The John
Me.
Cena Senior challenge.
All right, here we go. John Cena Sr. John Cena Sr. I can't.
It's over. Do you think John Cena
paint
Jr.
drying?
is embarrassed that his father's John Cena Sr.?
Do I think he's...
Yeah, like, Dad, stay away.
That's a possibility. I think that it's almost like... No. But, I think that it might be a similar situation to the prodigy who's been drafted by the Jets, Zach Wilson. He's basically giving his mom money to go away at this point. Please stop. Stop. You're embarrassing me. Stop. No, I want to go on with that terrible podcast. Dad, please don't. Please. I'm going to do it.
Channel. Go ahead.
I just realized something. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Can't believe you're interrupting my monologue.
I have to. I just have to. Wait a minute. Everything's wrong here. I'm the only one who took the John Cena Senior Challenge.
You did.
You do it. Wait a minute.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm gonna try.
Hold on.
I'll try.
Matty Ice, our illustrious producer, Matty Ice.
Yes.
Matty, I am asking you to take the John Cena Senior Challenge. Go, brother. Go.
John Cena Senior, John Cena Senior, John Cena Senior, John Cena Senior, John Cena Senior.
That wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Good job, Matt. Not bad.
I'll try it.
He almost pulled it off.
I'll try it.
Oh God, no.
You ready?
Drum roll.
John Dan Marotti's Big Fat Pig. 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 Dan Marotti's Big Fat Pig.
Ooh, I'm telling.
You know what? I have a great idea for Jeffrey. I'm going to present it to him.
Okay.
He'll have a tournament, and the winner gets to wear John Cena Sr.'s wig.
And sweater.
How great would that be? And the winner of this tournament.
But what if the
I'll buy
rug,
tickets
what
to
if
that.
the rug is stinky and like he never washes it?
He looks like he doesn't wash it. Henry 407 says, come down to John Cena Sr.'s used cars in Roswell, New Jersey, and go get yourself a car. If you buy a car, you get a free toupee. Also, toupee for sale, Craigslist, called John Cena Sr. Want to welcome our special guest, Jeffrey Weaver. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks for having me on.
You are most welcome.
We're very sorry you had to sit through that monologue.
Poor man.
I'll tell you what. It was the best on hold I've ever had.
So what do you think about my idea of possibly having a tournament and the winner winning John Cena Sr.'s wig? Is that possible?
Oh, God.
Or wait, Jeff,
In Florida, I don't know.
what if we put it on a pole, the wig?
A wig on a pole match?
Yeah, what if we did that? Jeff, do you think that would get over?
By the way, Monty Nefaro just signed a new sponsor, John Cena Sr.'s Used Cars. So he'll be sponsoring our show next week. So congratulations. All right, let's get serious.
Oh, dear
Jeff,
Lord, help me.
Really, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
And by the way, Matt, you got Jeff's name wrong. You got Jeff Beaver.
He does not.
Boy, oh boy, this is out of control.
Matt,
Yeah.
fix that B. Oh my.
All right, let's get serious. I can't tell you how.
Right, you know?
I can't tell you how we're excited to have you on, man.
Yes,
Really,
yes,
please.
yes.
All right, Farrell, have at it, my friend.
I'm a longtime fan of your show. You guys are awesome. The thanks is all to you guys for having me on, really. Thank you all both.
Thank you.
First of all, before we begin all of this, I got to say a massive thank you for keeping the torch burning for one of my absolute favorites growing up from childhood, Florida Championship Wrestling, the original greats, the Gordon Solys, et cetera, et cetera. I grew up with this stuff. Mike Graham, Dusty Rhodes, Kevin Sullivan, of course, by Bugsy McGraw, as I spoke to Jeff before we got on the air. Guys like Mr. Florida, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, the Funks came to. It just goes on and on and on. What makes you bring this product back home to the fans once again?
Well, I'm a guy that grew up my whole life watching championship wrestling from Florida and Gordon Soley and all the gentlemen that you so graciously mentioned. And the state hasn't been the same. The sport hasn't been the same without it. And it's been dormant for how many years? 20 some odd years. And nobody took interest in it. Vince almost did when he had Florida Championship Wrestling, but then he gave that up for the NXT idea, which is, that's his business. But I live here in this state, and this particular company meant the world to me. And the fact that nobody cared enough to even try to revive it was appalling to me. So I started doing some research, and things started working out and kind of just landed in my lap. And now I'm on your show talking about it. So it's been a pretty wild ride over the last 16 months.
How difficult was it getting it off the ground? Did you have moments of doubt? Did you face challenges that you thought to yourself, boy, oh boy, this is a big undertaking. Can I pull this off?
Well, I did think that because of how important it was to me. the part that I underestimated was how important it was to a lot of other people, namely some of the guys that made CWF what it was. So when I pitched the idea to them, and I won't say his name, but you know who he is, I mentioned it to him, and a tear rolled out of his eye. And this is a 65-year-old man, that's a man's man. He's, former heavyweight champion. He's worked all the biggest promotions in the world. And I said one sentence to this man, and a tear rolled down his cheek.
Wow.
I knew then that I was onto something, and that if I did it, it had to be done correctly.
The product itself, the presentation, does it lean more towards the sport of wrestling? Does it have some of Vince's entertainment aspects also in there, since you said that you're adapting some of Vince's philosophies?
Well, Vince's is a lot more theatrical, I'll say.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No.
It's just a little more theatrical version of what made me, fall in love with this sport. So I'm trying to recapture and rekindle the traits that made me fall in love with it, and also keep in the back of my mind that this business is constantly evolving. You can't just have, old school style matches. You have to have dudes that can fly. You have to have things that the other style wrestling fans also want to see. So you're not excluding anyone.
So, Jeff, are you going to try to recapture the old Florida Championship Wrestling feel, like with a Gordon Soley type of announcer? There's already comments about Purple Haze, right? Mark Lewin back in the day coming out of the ocean. Are we looking at maybe kind of a rebirth with some of these characters, or are you going a totally different way?
No, I feel like it's most important for our mission to absolutely show what the guys before us that laid this road for us to walk down now. We have to show the homage for those guys, or we'll just be some young guys who bought the name and are trying to ride off of yesterday's accomplishments. That's not at all what we're trying to do. But somewhere along the lines, yesterday's accomplishments that these great men that paved CWF, they've been kind of forgotten about and pushed away. And I just want to dust that off and show it to the world again. There's still story there that people want to hear, and guys that people want to see, even if it's not in a match capacity.
You mentioned something very interesting about that there's an excess of professional wrestling in the state of Florida, and I completely understand that, because it feels like on a lot of these rosters, they have 8 pounds of in a 2-pound bag. What is your challenge as far as assembling your roster? Do you have a cutoff point in your mind, a number? Okay, this is too many wrestlers. How difficult is it for you to assemble a roster where you can effectively book and push everybody in the way you want to without having an excess number of wrestlers? How difficult is that?
Well, I'm not, going to try to hire every talent that has a glimpse of something special. I can't do that. I've been on this scene for 20 years, and I've seen and worked with the best of the best, at least as far as the guys in this state. So these are pretty much the guys that I've assembled, and they've gotten behind me, just like I've gotten behind them in their careers and their personal lives.
What is it like for you when you see how training wrestlers has become almost anybody can do it? Almost anybody can become a wrestler and wind up wrestling at the local high school at the very least for a card. Does this concern you? Obviously, this must piss you off. Your thoughts on what training wrestlers has become?
It's bad, man. There's the ability to buy a ring nowadays is quite easy. Nowadays, the internet has absolutely destroyed, kayfabe. So there's all fans are smart fans nowadays. Right. They can just get right on Google and find out anything about anyone, what their real name is, what they did for a job before they worked for WWE or TNA or AEW or SWE Fury or whoever. It doesn't matter. It's so easy. There's nothing hard about it anymore. You can just go to monster.com and buy a ring, or you can go to highspots.com and buy a ring, and that's what these guys are doing.
Yeah, it's coming in the mail next week, Mike, by the way.
What's that?
The ring. I ordered one.
You ordered one?
Yeah. You know how
Where are
we
we
used
going to put it?
Well, we used to pound each other in the backyard when we were kids. I figured I'd
I'm
put it
a
in your
little too
own
old for that.
backyard.
And we have the honor to be speaking with the owner of CWF, that's Championship Wrestling from Florida. I like to call it a reboot because we loved how much we love Florida Championship Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
So, a lot of promotions, you see the owner, they try to be the owner, the booker, the matchmaker, the sponsor guy, the dude dropping flyers off everywhere. They try to hold every job themselves. And what happens is they do every one of those jobs half. And I've worked for a lot of companies that did this. And I'd like to think that I learned, from seeing things over and over, especially things like that over the years, to just not do that. I mean, how are we going to get this product out to the people? We're going to promote it. And if I'm trying to be the booker and the matchmaker and the sponsor guy, I'm not going to have time to do my job of booking, or my job of promoting. So we're going to go at this a little different angle than every other company you see around here.
So it's safe to say we will not be seeing you with the World Heavyweight title around your waist, a la Vince Russo. Good,
Never.
good, very good.
Never.
Oh, thank goodness.
I refuse to even book myself in a managerial position because I've managed a lot of guys over the years as well.
Interesting.
And I still have them trying to book me on their shows, and I told them, no, man, the entertainment days for me is over. I got 18 inches of corrective surgery at my back right now with full of metal rods and pins and crap.
Yeah.
So taking a bump it's over. The in-ring days for me are over. All the independent companies in this state really just want to put over whatever the 3 letters or 4 letters that make up their company name is. Mm-hmm. They don't try to get their talent over. Mm-hmm. So that's more my focus. I know that if I can get my talent known by the rest of the world, then my company will follow that. I don't have to try to put myself over. That's why you haven't seen me in any of the video. I've stayed completely backstage, and that's the way I'm going to continue to do it.
Where can the fans find your organization? Where can they buy tickets? How often do the shows run?
CWFreloaded.com. All of our info is uploaded daily there.
Well, I'll tell you, Jeff, we're rooting for your organization. I guarantee me and Farrell will be down there in Florida to join and support you. We're really looking forward to the growth of your organization, and we want to thank you for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, sir.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you more than I can even put into words.
Do you think
I love this promotion?
Do you think that
I want to see more of
that
this?
photographer could take good pictures of Big Fat Whale?
No, because you need
Wig?
a wide-angle lens that you can only get imported from Korea, and right now they're having a shortage on glass.
I got you. And how about the wig? Can you focus on and make the wig look good?
Well, the wig can only be killed by a very large shotgun. I don't know. Last I heard, it was running down the New Jersey Turnpike.
I'm rooting for a wig on a pole match.
Oh,
anyway,
how about a pudgy on the
upcoming events?
A pudgy on the pole?
A pudgy on a pole. Marie Davis says out there, the wig.
It falls off.
And following that, we have John Cena Sr.'s wig. We're trying to negotiate an agreement with that.
We're going to interview John Cena Sr.'s wig.
Yes.
That's great. That's great.
Anyway,
you know what, though? It'll be more exciting than the man himself.
There you go.
Wow. Because he is, folks, the most uninteresting guy in the world. This message was brought to you by NyQuil. Good night.
Here. Anyway, there's more shows to be announced. I will tell you that the names that will be on that day is Abdul the Butcher will be in house, and
I thought I talked to you about Abby.
Did.
Oh God, Abby's coming.
And Sabu will be in studio.
No way. Really?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
I love Sabu.
Sabu would be in studio.
Oh my God.
It's not. It's official, but it's not official because the banner's not up yet.
My finger's coming.
Anyway, we'd like to thank Jeffrey Weaver, the owner of CWF Pro Wrestling. What a great interview!
Oh yeah.
If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty the Pharaoh. I just got an email, a new contract for the cable show, so we're gonna have to re-sign the contract.
Awesome.
So please remind me.
Smooth as butter.
We don't have a manager, so we're trying. Maybe I'll hire John Cena Sr.'s wig.
What about Pudgy the Whale? He can't talk.
No, he wants too much money.
It's pretty obvious.
He has to keep the wrestlers working. He has to keep. Listen, that's what he said. He goes, "You want me to manage you? I got to keep the wrestlers working. Pay me."
Yeah, that's great.
All right, Farrell. Any parting words?
Let's see. Well, we've learned a few things. That John Cena Sr.'s wig is in demand, but not John Cena Sr. That's one thing we learned.
Yes.
We've also learned that CWF absolutely kicked, and I cannot wait to see where it goes from here.
I agree.
So once again, it's awesome to see a page from yesterday becoming today.
By the way, Phil says the interview with John Cena Sr.'s wig is going to be called, hold on, Phil, Getting the Scoop with the Toop.
That's fantastic. I can't bear talking to the hair. You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh, and until next time, later.
And keep your hair on.